Hi, I'm Stephanie Wanchala and welcome to Alaska Filmmakers, a series dedicated to highlighting the talented individuals working in the Alaska film community. This week, AKF returns to Fairbanks to meet with the owner and operator of Alaska Universal Productions. Founded by John Huff, the company works to provide local filmmakers with the essential resources needed for production. We now go to AKF host DK Johnston to find out more about John's experiences with production.
All right, well, we're joined today by Jonathan Huff from Alaska Universal Productions. John, thanks for joining us. Pretty much just starting off with the first, how'd you get introduced into the production field?
Originally, I kind of started off as just doing sound at my church. And then that kind of worked into start playing with cameras and, you know, little SVHS camera and figuring out how it works and what I'm doing. And randomly I got to know the band Nothing Less, and they were shooting a music video with Sean Morse. And I came in as a volunteer to help move stuff around, and Sean Morse, hey, move the C-stand, and started getting me into it. So a start of a little spark of the industry. I did start at Channel 2 News, KTU, and they kind of took me under the wing and trained me all the way from camera operator all the way to being in engineering for the news. And I really haven't had any formal school training. I have taken a cinematography class to kind of get to know what the DP is looking at and what they're going to be wanting. So I had met up with Greg Kern, and I think Greg Kern called me down, and I think the first real interaction I had with Greg and really getting into Grip Electric is on the movie Christmas with a Capital C down in Seward. So he brought me in and just wanted to see what I knew and start teaching me some of the ways of Grip Electric. And so we spent a whole month down there and learned the gear, how to set everything up correctly. And he always gives me flack about not setting up a C-stand correctly.
So you a lifelong Alaskan, or did you come up from the lower 48?
I consider myself a lifelong Alaskan. I moved up in '91 when my dad moved up here to Elmendorf. So I lived in Anchorage from '91 all the way to 2006. And then in 2006, I moved up to Fairbanks. Local sports arena brought me up to work on their new video scoreboard. And so I was there to produce all of the hockey events, football, any sporting events that they had, or banquets, put it on their video board. And I've done broadcasts up to, I think, 10 million people out of that venue for lower 48 broadcast.
So what kind of productions have you worked on here in Fairbanks?
There's not too many that have been in Fairbanks, but we've had the Prilosec OTC commercial. I think that was 2008, December, so we were working in the -40, and that was part of their atmosphere of what they wanted for the look. We've also had the Alaska Land movie, which happened this last winter, and that was under $100,000 budget, low budget feature. Primarily had a lot of students working with it.
So what's been your experience working with local filmmakers on some of the features up here?
You know, there's a lot of the students have a lot of enthusiasm for the industry. They're excited to be able to work on a film. You know, everyone watches films and movies and just in a TV production, and they're excited to see a camera and all the behind the scenes. And a lot of them are kind of surprised at how much work actually goes into something. You know, the mindset of the generic public is it just happens, but behind the scenes, you know, you're shooting half a scene a day or a couple scenes a day, depending on the technicalities, but they're all excited about it.
How do you think the recent film incentive has really affected the Alaska film community? You
know, before the incentives, you know, not many people were getting called for many gigs. You know, before that, I didn't have any gear up here. I was getting called down to Anchorage every now and then. But since the incentives, you're seeing emails left and right. You're seeing newspaper articles. The public is seeing that our industry is growing. And so it's putting a lot of people to work, and I've got at least one employee right now, and I'm looking to increase that for just being able to have people work for me, and it's helping the industry.
So tell me a little bit more about Alaska Universal Productions. How'd that come to be?
I have two different divisions of the company. One is live sound and video, and lighting for concerts and corporate events. The second division is for grip electric for the film industry. It started back in 2003 when I was a senior in high school. Legally, that's when it started, and it was mainly to be a contractor, so people could actually call me up and hire me for doing, you know, sound and lighting for concerts or grip electric. And so I really got it up and going in 2007. When I moved to Fairbanks in 2006, I started seeing that Fairbanks needed something. They didn't have any sound and lighting. They didn't have any film equipment. And so when you see a need, you got to kind of have to help fill a need. So that's when I started buying equipment. You know, I started out with 6 par cans, and now I've got an entire warehouse full of just sound and lighting equipment.
We talked a little bit about the services you provide. What kind of equipment do you have for both kind of film and live events?
The grip equipment that I have in my inventory is, you know, handfuls of C-stands, all the different flags and rags that you need. I've got a doorway dolly with track, Kino flow kit, airy kits, all your basic stuff, and I've also got all the expendables that you may need. I primarily stay within Fairbanks for my equipment, but I do travel all over the state for labor to be, you know, either be a best boy or just to be, you know, a grip electric hand. I have, you know, gone down to Healy and Delta and, you know, a little bit up north, but primarily it's staying in town and focusing up here.
So with the current film incentive and the possibility of the extension, what kind of future do you see for the Alaska film industry?
Well, you know, hopefully, I don't particularly want Alaska to be turned into a Hollywood, but it's going to be basically an Alaskan version of a Hollywood down in Anchorage. But I'm hoping to see a lot more movies coming up here. You know, you have the oil industry, and that's, you know, the big market of Alaska. And I'm hoping that the film industry will be, you know, a couple steps underneath that. So it'll be a very large industry. Alaska's got a beautiful land, and it's great to show that off. You know, it's our backyard. We get to go play in it every day.
And just kind of finally here, what advice would you give to some of our younger aspiring filmmakers here in the state?
For young aspiring upcoming filmmakers, anyone that's interested in the industry, the best thing is just to get into it somehow. You know, get on a small job, you know, short film, be a PA, you know, just start working your way up the ranks. It's how I started off. The best experience is being on the job. You know, university does have their film program now, which is great. For older people, you know, high schoolers or college students, it's a way to get into the industry and get experience for these bigger films.
That's all the time we have on Alaska Filmmakers. To learn more about John and Alaska Universal Productions, visit our website at alaskafilmmakers.com. Special thanks to John for joining us on the show, and thanks to the University of Alaska Fairbanks for their hospitality. Thanks to our sponsors and supporters for helping make another season of AKF possible. Join us next week for the season finale of Alaska Filmmakers with our guest, Patrick Race. And until then, remember, everyone has a story to tell.